welcome to Afro Scientific Spirituality. My name is Efe West, wishing you live and direct from the heart of Africa. If this is your first time to this channel, this is the place where we discuss the concepts of metaphysics in African spirituality. We talk about history, we talk about spirituality and subjects that are very difficult to talk about. Today, once again, in custom with the channel, I am bringing up a very serious, controversial topic that I believe have never been talked about in the occult society in Western world. And until today, most spiritualists, I don't think they have even imagined that this actually is possible. So before I go further, I want to appeal to you people that are watching me and practitioners that have been practicing Western occultism for years. Please cool down, remove your pride, your arrogance, and your years of practice. I know some of you are experts, some of you have written books, but keep all those things down for this very video. And hear me out. After the video, I would like to know your opinions because this is very serious. What I'm about to say today is that I am here to say that 99, if not 99.9% of what is practiced in so-called Western occultism today is based on fakery, is based on lies, is based on deceptions. And I am here with the physical evidence and the theory to prove that to you in this very video, and I am going to prove that to you in this very video. Okay, so let's begin. There's a concept called simulacra and simulation in Western philosophy. This concept is a very interesting concept, and it was postulated in 1981 by a French sociologist named Jean Baudrillard. In this concept, he tried to explain or examine the relationship between reality, symbols, and society in particulars. So we are going to use this very concept to explain why I believe that Western occultism being practiced as it is today, is based on fakery, and it's just one big simulation. It is not real, and so you cannot get real results from it. Okay, he went further to postulate that the significations and symbolism of culture and media has to be involved in constituting and understanding shared existence. This simulacra and simulation, it can be, you can access it. It's a book actually. You can actually read it. You don't have to read the whole book. You can see the basic theory on the internet. I got it from the internet, and I totally agree with this principle and how it applies to the occult world. Okay, so first of all, what is simulacra? It defines simulacra as simply copies that depict things that have no original or no longer have an original. Those are the things that are called simulacra. Something that does not have an original, does not have a fake, that you cannot trace the original, meaning it was created artificially without source of being original. It was imagined. It is not real. Okay, then why simulation is simply the imitation of the operation of a real-world process or system. We all know how simulation works. Okay, so what he went further to identify that in this theory of this simulacra, there are three orders. The author Jean Baudrillard identified three orders of the simulacra, and I will state it here. The first order of simulacra focus on counterfeits and false images. For the simulacra to work, three things must be involved. Okay? First thing that we have to be involved is the creation of counterfeit and false image. Write that down, number one. Number two is that the simulacra must be dominated by the production of these false images. Number two, write it down. Number three, the third order of the simulacra rests on ultimate simulation, creating an artificial environment for existence of the simulacra. 3. Okay, so now let's look upon the occult, Western occult spirituality. Now, for people that have been involved in Western occultism, there are some major names that are out there. We are going to look at the origin of these names. Western occultism, Satanism, it was popularized by this Satanist called Anton LaVey that founded the Church of Satan. And he created an opposition to Christianity. But where did he get this idea of Satan as an adversary, as the enemy of Jesus Christ? He got it from Christianity. And he chose to pitch his tent with the adversary called Satan, Lucifer, and the rest of them. So, these demons that are the arch enemies of Christianity, how do they become demons? If you have basic idea of the origin of religion, the origin of Christianity, how religion started, you will know for sure that these so-called deities we call demons today are deities that were worshipped on the earth by indigenous people as their own guardian deities. These deities were demonized by Christianity after Christianity have conquered these indigenous tribes. They demonize everything about their spirituality, and they call the gods of these other tribes devils and demons. And they distorted and demonize all the good qualities of these deities. That is how we got demons. That is how we got these evil deities. That is the origin of demons. Back in the days when two people are fighting, two nations, the one that wins, we write the history of the day, and it will try to take whatever that is good from those other side and will try to destroy whatever they can destroy. This involves destroying their gods, burning place of worships, calling their gods evil, demons, stuff like that. This is how demons were created. Okay, so if it is true, I'm taking you guys to history now. We have so-called spirits like Lucifer, Belial, Azazel, Lucifuge, Asmodeus, Lilith. We have let me just focus on the main deities. They call the 9 gatekeepers in Western occultism. Where do these deities come from? That is the question I'm going to ask you guys. Okay, so let's try to see if we can trace this origin of these deities. Let's come to history. First of all, we all know that Africans are the oldest race on this planet. In fact, they are the mother race. I'm not saying this because I am African. I have transcended my race a long time ago. I'm saying this because it's a fact. It is in the science books. It is in every major place that have evidence. In your museums, you will see this evidence. In real spirituality, you will see the evidence. In history, you will see the evidence. Africans are the oldest race on this planet, and they are the ones that started the cradle of civilization. We have all this physical evidence on the planet. It is nothing to argue. Okay? So if it is true that Africans are the first race on this planet, and all other races are offshot of Africa, or they migrated from Africa, by this I mean the Arabs, the Chinese, the Caucasians, the white people, all of that race, they are all children of Africa. And Africa is the cradle of civilization. Then it is only natural to assume that African spirituality is the oldest spirituality on the planet. And these so-called deities that Western occultism are venerating, if it is true that these deities exist before time and space were created, that means they have been in existence before this earth was even created. That means that Africans naturally would have been in touch, or would have been the first race to be in contact with these deities before any other race will be in contact with them, which is also true again. Okay, so we can conveniently trace all these deities that Western occultism are parading as their supreme, most powerful deities. We can conveniently trace all of them to Africa, meaning that these so-called Western deities are simply African deities being venerated in another name, ancient African deities. If I am right in that way, that means that Western occultism is another aspect or an offshoot of African spirituality, which has been diluted and corrupted and distorted to the point that it is no longer recognizable in its original form. Now, to prove that what I am saying is true, I try to trace, and since, by the way, I have been studying and practicing occultism for the last 10 years. Western occultism, African spiritualism, Buddhism, Hinduism. I have run through all these religions. Christianity, I was born there. So I have idea. Esoteric organization, I have been a member. I have been on this road. I did not start today. But my channel is very simple. I don't need to dress the part. I don't believe in doing those kind of crap. Okay? So, if it is true that we can trace these deities to Africa, we can say that Western occultism is a diluted aspect of African spirituality. First of all, the supreme or main deity in Western occultism is Lucifer. Lucifer is the number one enemy of God in Christianity. If you are a Christian, you will know the name of Lucifer. I was thrown down from heaven. is responsible for all the evils that is happening to mankind. How still yet God have sent his only begotten Son to redeem us from what we don't know, the blah blah blah. How the most powerful God have not been able to kill this motherfucker till now. And he claims to be so powerful. How Lucifer is to be blamed for everything bad happening to mankind. The story of Lucifer. Okay, who is this Lucifer? Where did Lucifer come from? Let's trace this Lucifer. Let's capture him for God. Okay. We trace Lucifer to ancient Egypt. Lucifer is Amimon, the light bringer, the morning star, the star of Venus. Lucifer is adapted from Amon-Ra. It started with Amimon. The ancient Egyptians worshipped this sun deity, this solar deity. And They are the ones that built the pyramids. That was where Lucifer originated from. We can see this Lucifer deity in all other spirituality. You can see him in Hinduism, you see him in Buddhism, you see the sun symbol. Even in Christianity is there. He's the supreme deity of the earth, the light bringer. Without the sun, nothing will survive. The sun gives life to the earth. Okay? So we can say Lucifer is the son of God, the son of whoever created the world. So Lucifer animal have always been with us, but with different names. That is where I've been able to trace the origin of Lucifer to. So I traced him to know him as Amon, Amon-Ra, Amimon, later Amen-Ra. And from the literatures about him, he is not an evil deity, he is not a rebellious deity, he is not what the Western world is depicting him to be this horrible, horrendous deity that is responsible for all the problems in life. But Christianity and Western occultism still depict him in that way. Okay, now let's look at another deity, Lucifuge Rufekau. They claim he is the scribe of the Infernal Empire. Where did he come from? We traced him back to ancient Egypt, to the god Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing and medicine in ancient Egypt, ancient Africa. So it's another African deity that have been distorted and twisted to this horrible, horrendous deity in Western occultism. Okay, we cannot trace another deity, Lilith, that is supposed to be Isis in African pantheon. Lilith is supposed to be the divine mother of mankind. The Christian called her the first wife of Adam before Eve came. I don't know how true is that, because we know that the Africans were here, and before the Jews came, we in Africa don't know who is Adam and Eve. It is Jewish people that created that myth for themselves. So we do not base our spirituality on that myth. Okay? So we have now identified three deities, three principal deities in Western occultism that have been directly traced to African spirituality: Lucifer, Lucifuge, and Lilith. The question I now have for Western occultists is that most of you that have been practicing this for years, you know what I am talking about, and you know what I am saying is true, that yes, these are African deities. Why are you still venerating these deities in the distorted and twisted forms that Western occultism have created them to be? Why do you not choose to venerate these deities in their original form before the advent of Christianity, before the advent of colonialism? Why do you choose to parade them, at least to picture them in that demonic appeal, that evil, obnoxious depictions that I normally see in your grimoires and in the pictures you guys post and practice? That is it, my question. Because the way I see it, that picture or that depiction or that description, that evil name, it is not the real name of the deity. And in my own opinion, it should not actually be used to be addressing the deity, because it is demeaning. Okay, let's put it this way. If we have a situation of somebody, maybe a person was accused of a crime, that a false allegation was brought upon somebody that the person is a thief, the person stole something, and he was sent to jail for some years. Then later on, there was evidence beyond reasonable doubt that this person is not a thief. This person did not do anything. This person was innocent. And they now release that person into the outside world. But you find out that some people are still calling the person a thief. Even when it has been proven that the person was not a thief, the person was falsely accused. But people are still calling the person a thief. Is it a good thing? This is what is happening. This is what most Western occultists are doing in Western occultism. I have seen many of them behaving like this. You have studied this for years. You have practiced. You have known that this spirit, this is not the real nature of the spirit. This spirit was distorted by evil colonialists, the evil missionaries that came, that give them a bad name. They are not bad, they are not evil. But still yet, you are still writing in your books, giving them evil titles, giving them corrupted descriptions, drawing them like demons, ghostic, horrible creatures, spreading this lie that this spirit is a bad spirit, this spirit is a lying spirit, this spirit is devious, this spirit is ugly, is twisted, is smell. I have read most of the grimoires of Western occultism. This is how they depict these deities, especially from Africa. They always they go around publishing, promoting, and selling these horrible images. People that are coming in contact with the occult are actually believing that this is how the deities are. If you are somebody that have been falsely accused and you have been exonerated and people are still calling you a criminal, are you going to be happy? I don't think so. You as an individual, you will not be happy. So I don't think that these spirits are actually happy with the way they are being venerated or depicted in these grimoires, the way they are being talked about by many of these Western occultists. Since I discovered this fact, I have chosen to venerate the deities in their original form before they were distorted. So that is the way African people have been venerating the deities, and that is the way, the proper way, I believe, to venerate this or pay homage or be in touch, keep in touch with these deities. But you will find out that 99% of Western occultism are still pushing these false images of these deities, and they are still selling it, and it sells. I have seen very big occultists on YouTube, have very big channel, pushing these false images, even though they know the truth. I am still waiting for some of them to come clean, to say these deities are not like this. This is how they should be venerated. But instead, they are doing the wrong. They keep promoting these false images on a daily basis. So I have identified that two things for this reason. It is either they are racists or they are ignorant. And I have discovered that most of the Western, so-called Western occultists, many of them are racists. Sorry to say this. These are people that claim to be highly spiritual. You are highly spiritual, but you have denied the truth of your own existence. These are people that still believe that Christopher Columbus was a hero, that choose to deny the bloody development of American history. Maybe I will need to tell them in this channel, somebody that you left Europe on a boat, Christopher Columbus, you go to another continent that is not your own. You kill the people, you took their lands, destroy them, give them poison blanket, poison foods, infected items to make them sick. You kill as much as you can. You took their land and you created your own country. Are you not a thief? Are you not a thief? What moral rights do you have to say you want to be police of the world, to tell people not to do? Or that is where your foundation was built on blood and murder and violence and rape and you are still benefiting from that. These are people that have choose to deny choose to talk the truth about their own existence. These are the people, majority of these people, you see them in Western occultism. Anything that stands for truth, they reject it. In Western occultism today, I have seen so many of these occultists that have choose to deny the fact that the ancient Egyptians were black people. They never said this very thing in their channel. They never talk about it. They all want to say it's an Arab civilization, and we know the year the Arabs came. We know all the evidence, all the scientific evidence, all the history books are there that have been hidden, but you see people claiming to be masters, experts in Western occultism, they are still denying these facts. Claiming, if they don't claim that it's Arab, they will claim Samaria was there before Egypt, and some will even claim that it is aliens that built the pyramids. This is how wicked, or how we say how stupid, or how hateful these people are towards black people. And yet you're practicing the spirituality of the people that you hate so much that you cannot even say one truth. One truth cannot come out of your mouth to say the truth. I have read all the books, but you will stop short of saying the truth, of writing the truth about the origin of these deities, about the origin of the original people that venerate these deities, about the original nature of these deities. You will not write it. But yet you claim to be a child of this deity, to be a choosing of this deity, to be a devotee of the deity that you have never spoken a single truth about in your entire career, in your entire life. Sadly, these are the people that I meet, that I see in Western occultism, pushing these lies. So, I will say that mainstream Western occultism is simply a simulation to trap the spirituality of people that are trying to evolve in life. And that is exactly what it is. If you have been following the occult community for the last 5 years, you will find that, and you have been practicing all these mainstream things, all these grimoires, you will find out that you have been stagnated. And the so-called leaders of the so-called occult communities, all what I have said here, it is exactly as they are. None of them have come forward to say the true origin of these deities. None of them have come forward to admit the truth about their own existence. None of them have come forward to say the truth that to practice real spirituality, it needs to be based on a foundation of truth. That any spirituality that is not based on a foundation of truth is not a real spirituality, it is false, and so cannot work well, and is destined to fall. Maybe partly the reason that we see how many of these occultists have become exposed this year. So many of them are falling, and many of them are still going to fall. Because the foundation of their spirituality is not based on the premises of truth. It is based on the premises of falsehood. And they have been pushing this spirituality on this falsehood for so long, and now it's finally cracking. As it's cracking, those people that they have trapped in this simulation will start breaking out, and will start freeing themselves. And the time has come. So 99% of Western occultism is based on simulation, is based on lie, and based on falsehood. You cannot be venerating a spirit and you will not bear the same characteristic of that spirit. That is how you know good people from bad people. Once you are venerating a deity, the character of that deity has to be reflected in you. People will see it. You don't even need to tell people that you are a child of these deities. But you see these people running around their mouth every day. They are a child of this, child of Lucifer, child of Azrael, child of blah, 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 blah. We don't need to know that, please, okay? We just need to see your character. Say the truth with your mouth and do the right thing. By you attaching yourself to those deities, you are spoiling their names, and you are going to get it. So many of them that are claiming to be some will say that these deities are worship plates for them. We have seen how you guys are falling, and more of you will still fall. Those of them that are selling packs for money, $1,000 pieces of paper for $1,000, and you don't have any money in real life. Every day, you don't let us rest with how you are saying stories with the deities, how both of you are drinking tea together. We will know when the time comes. We don't need to do anything. Okay? So, we see this behavior also in African spirituality, this simulation in Nigeria, Africa. You will see so many Dibias and Babalawos claiming to be practice African spirituality in the name of Jesus. What does the name of Jesus have to do with African spirituality? There was Africa before there was Jesus. There were plants and animals and everything before that. So what kind of practice are you doing? It's either you are confused or you are also a simulation. I have also seen many channels on YouTube on people doing spells. Very funny, very, very funny videos. Make me laugh. African things will take it to the next level, especially in Nigeria. You will teach person a spell that you will apply the name of Jesus into the spell. What has Jesus got to do? You are confusing people. You are confusing me a lot. In fact, to be honest, of all the channels of people talking about African spirituality from Nigeria, I am the only channel I have seen that I do not call the name of Jesus on any spell or anything. I don't even call the name of any spirit because I don't need to. First of all, I don't want to spoil the name. I don't want people to rely on spirits for anything. I believe human beings are at the same level, if not higher level than most of those demons. So you don't need to call their name. The only difference between you and them is that you are in human flesh, they are free. So you don't really need to handicap yourself in that way. But I see these things. Then you will see somebody doing spell. They will teach you how to do spell on YouTube. The next thing, the person will be selling an item to you that will do that very work for you. It's so shocking to me, surprising, because if the spell you just taught somebody actually work, why do you still want to sell something for them to do the same spell? This blows my mind, but it proves to show what you just told me is not what. If it's working, I can do it myself. Why do I have to sell something? It's not that I'm selling the material for you to do it. I'm actually selling something to do the spell for you. So many funny things are happening. But what you need to know is that there are different levels of simulation in the spirit world. In this spirit path, it is a crooked path. It is not a straight path. It is not a smooth road. And it's not for everybody. There are a lot of things you are going to see, a lot of funny, a lot of lies. When you think you have broken out of mainstream religion, you have jumped into spirituality, you are not practicing, you're still going to meet spiritualists there that are also simulations inside the system that will also trap your spirit and waste your time for as much as possible. So you have to be very careful. When you break out of this spiritual master, you're going to meet another one again at a higher level that is still dead, working with the bad guy, still trying to trap your spirituality. They are all over the place. So that is why I tell my students, for you to practice real spirituality, you must know history. You must know African history, which is the real history of the world. I always make sure that everybody that I teach, before I even tell you, you must read at least 2 African history books I recommend. You must read Destruction of Black Civilizations, Stolen Legacy, so that you will have a good foundation. Even if you are a white person, you need to know the origin of these deities so that you can venerate them in their natural form. That is when you get the best rapport, and that's where you can be able to build a foundation based on truth that cannot be broken by all these people with fake simulations, all these ones coming from all sides, saying they are master, they are this and this, with all kind of lollipop, telling you all sort of lies. Some even say they are gods and they are carpet cleaners. Many of these people that they don't, in their real life, they have nothing. They have nothing. They live on almost hand to mouth. But on YouTube, they are gods. You need to be careful of such kind of people. If you want to practice real occultism, you need to know history. You need to know the origin of the spirits so that you can approach them in the real form before they were distorted. That way you get a good rapport. That way the spirit know that you are serious. That way you are showing respect. Not be pushing the same rotten image. Like you see the image of Lilith now. They push on the line. It's like she's like a vampire prostitute. How can you say the divine mother is a vampire prostitute? Your divine mother is like a 2-bit prostitute. No. It is not. That is not my divine mother. Okay, I reject that image. But you see, they are selling this image. It's a wrong thing. Okay, maybe these people, they are naturally bad, or they are not real humans. They are copies of a copy. Because I have practiced this aspect of Western occultism, it did not work for me. I don't know. It didn't work for me because I don't know. I think that it is fake. My spirit rejected it. And it don't work for many black people. That's why you don't see many black people in it. In fact, it doesn't work for black people. We black people, our spirituality needs to be based on truth. Okay? So maybe people that are fake, that are living in denial, that have denied their own existence, that have refused to come to terms with their own existence, that want to be in continual denial. How will I say spiritual Karens that are claiming to be big dogs in the occult world? Maybe it is working for them. If it is working for them, the spirits they are venerating will never be the original spirit. This is when we come to the simulacra, the copy of a copy. What they are calling spirits, maybe the Lucifer they are talking to will not be the real Lucifer. Because I know the real Lucifer is not a racist. The real Lucifer is not an asshole. The real Lucifer is an intelligent being. Okay? When I look at the lifestyle of a magician, I don't need to throw oracle to know the kind of spirits they are working with. I just need to study them for like a month or two. I will know the kind of deities they are working with based on their lifestyle. Because the deities you are venerating will reflect in you. You cannot hide it. Okay? When you see somebody that is in denial of real world history, that is in denial of the truth of nature, somebody that is a racist, somebody that is myopic, somebody that is not in touch with reality, you will know. And you will know that whatever spirits this person is working with is a lying spirit. No matter the name they call, no matter the name they claim to, what they claim to be. So many of the spirits that these Western occultists are actually getting in touch with, they are not the real deities. They are copies of those deities. They are fake. They are fakery. They are thought forms. Because the real deities will never do certain things. We never even talk to this kind of people. We not even talk to them because they are not ready. They have refused to come to terms. They have refused to do any real shadow work. They have refused to use their mouth and their platform to proclaim the truth, to unite people. They have refused. Instead, they are pushing these false images, this false simulation to trap as much souls as possible. So they are actually working against the deity. And that is what is happening in the occult world today. And sadly enough, you see so many people being deceived. But I know that situations will change with time as people are becoming more aware, as we start talking about this topic of this simulation. So there are many simulations inside. Simulations and simulations. This is what you need to know. It's all like the movie Matrix. This word, you see it in the movie Matrix 1. When the people came to see him in the beginning, he opened the book and brought out the flash drive. The name of that book was the Simulacra and Simulation. I want you guys to study this theory free. You will see how it actually corresponds to what is happening in the occult world today, in the spiritual world today. There are so many fakery in this spiritual parts. And it is very, very painful. It is very painful. We have seen so many things that are going wrong, and Another thing that most of these Western occultists do that makes me very mad is going after multiple deities. You will see some people that will call this deity today, the next day they will call another deity, the next day they will call another deity. This is something that is not good, in the sense that it's like having a relationship with a deity. It's like having a multiple sex partner. You need to have a stable relationship with just one deity. That deity, just like you're having one girlfriend, can be able to do anything that the girl will do for you. But you summoning this deity today, summoning these different deities, it's like you're having like over 50 girlfriends. You just blowing, fucking, and living, or you just want to test all of them. Then later on you will settle. But one characteristic they push in Western occultism is that by showing you are a master of your craft, you'll be summoning different deities one by one, one by one, one by one. You are not really focused on any of them. And maybe that is the way you want to live your life. There are men that like to have a lot of girlfriends, you get many experience, and later on you will settle with one. We have all been in that place before. Maybe that is what they are doing. This is their time for doing that, but it's not something that should be promoted, that you are a master of the craft. You stick with one spirit. Make a boundary with one, the one that both of you can be able to, that works well for you. And you do things with just that one. I think there is more loyalty there and more focus than you going from deity to deity. It is not a cool thing. Maybe you want people to see you as an expert. But the way I see you like somebody that is confused or somebody that is still young. That is the way people like me see those kind of things. I will respect you more if you stick to one. Yes. Well, you can have side chicks, but at least still stick to one major one. It will be much more better for you that way. So these are some of the things I see, the problems in the Western occultism. So it's a shame that this is happening, but it's also a good thing, because this is how we know the fake from the real. And as time goes on, people will begin to expose themselves. We don't need to go into details. So I hope that I have been able to explain this very well about the fakery and fuckery in the occult world that is happening based on the false narrative of spirituality they are pushing out there. So this is what I have for you today. Questions and comments are invited. Like and share this video, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye.